Hey everybody, Steve Moran and Douglas Yates, and we are live. How are we doing today?
Doing great, man. You can see the boxes behind me. My daughter's moving in with me, so I her room
Okay.
her, her room is beautiful. Now I feel like I live in a storage container now, but we're getting it worked out slowly, getting it in. She's going back to school to get her master's in nursing, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand the boxes, man. I just got moved in myself.
yeah, so yeah, that's going great. Had a great meeting with we added some more resources to our technical team. And so the core team here can move on to the blockchain coding and concentrate on that because that's what their forte is. And then we brought on some user interface, the screens and stuff like that. That's what they call the
Right.
user interface. And the cool thing is we had the easy button flow is about nine unique web pages, and those are all done, which is great. And so we're just incorporating the easy button and the behind the scenes. All the work is done behind the scenes, of helping you create the wallet if you haven't already created the wallet, and then accepting the cryptocurrency, and then watching the blockchain as it gets confirmed. And once it gets confirmed, actually minting the NFT to the wallet, and then transferring the wheels tokens. All that's going to be all automated. Well, it's already automated. We're testing it, and so watch the Discord for that because we're looking for a couple groups of you guys. We're looking for about 4 to 5 to maybe 6 people to help us immediately start testing this button. And then we call that the alpha stage. It's like the first level test. And then once we get through the kinks out of that, we'd like to bring on another 10 of you guys and help us in the beta testing of it, which was actually moving real tokens on the real blockchain back and forth. And that's where we got to be very careful, but we want to test it with you guys first, and before we turn it on and let the whole world be able to see this. So keep an eye on Discord out there. I'll repeat this in Discord, and what we want to start this process like soon, like end of this week, beginning of next week. So that's exciting. But I know you're all here for other reasons because Steve has got some incredible stuff that he's been working really hard on. He went over his latest and greatest version with me last night, and it was so exciting. And I know what's going on, and it's still blowing my brain and the plan. Just remind everybody. I'm from the technical world, Silicon Valley, IT stuff, blockchain, and all that technical stuff. So that's kind of my forte, and that's where I'm concentrating on. Steve's been a master internet marketer for many years. I mean, he helped Tony Robbins with his mastermind groups. He ran mastermind groups. He's involved with some of the top internet marketers in the world. So he knows all about marketing via the internet, and he has tools, plans, and all that kind of stuff that he have already had in place in his extra refined it. He'll go over that a little bit. But I just want to remind everybody that it's not like hey, now we got to figure out what to do next. We know exactly what to do next. We know exactly what to focus on, because we're unique in one situation. We're not fighting and competing at price points with other exchanges. Our whole goal is to onboard communities into TOAX environment because that equals volume. And that's our whole focus. The more charities and communities that we onboard, the more volume it is. The more volume it is, the more fees are generated. The more fees are generated, the more we can share with you guys, and the charities. And it's this machine that's just incredible. And Steve's going to get into the guts of that in just a second. So it's real exciting. And I'll throw it back to you, Steve. I don't want to take up all the time.
All right, guys. All right, I thought it would be fun. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so I thought it'd be fun to actually kind of go through the Wheels token. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes, I see it.
Can you see it? Okay, because I can't see you now. All right, so I thought it'd be good to kind of go through and show everybody, exactly what it is we do, and we're kind of have a new meaning behind this token, and we call it, the more we give, the more you receive, and I'm going to show you how that all works right now. When we started talking about this, it's been a while ago. This process and everything about this has really evolved a tremendous amount. And it all started with kind of thinking about, my younger brother, Ken. And that's the reason that, we did this is he had such a very, very difficult life. And we decided, hey, if somebody was going to do something good for the community and cryptocurrency, how could you do something? What kind of things could you do? How could you really make something that's good for everybody and not be worried about making money yourself, but really trying to create something great? And so I'm going to go through how we created that utility and kind of where that's taken us and what that's going to do to the value of the NFTs and everything else. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. So let's get going. Once again, the more we give, the more you receive. Today, we're going to be talking about potential revenue projections for the NFTs that we have. Okay. Now, please understand, like it says, a little paragraph down here at the bottom that, we're not financial advisors. We're not making any income claims or representations here. These are just numbers based on if this number happens, then this happens. And, let's just, and this is what happened in the real marketplace. So, we're not financial advisors and nothing about that. But anyways, so the only thing this is something that's really important to understand. We're launching the exchange here soon. We're going to be launching the exchange by January 1st. Okay. And why that's important, because the only thing that drives revenue for NFT holders, okay, the only thing is transaction volume. Okay. And, we weren't like a typical exchange when we decided to go do this type of a project. We weren't saying, hey, let's go out. Most exchanges, they've got to go out and get hundreds of different types of tokens or stocks or different things along those lines, right? And they have to spend a whole bunch of money going out and getting market share and all these types of things. We didn't have to do those types of things. And when we started off with the Wheels token, we said, look, let's take 20% of the profits that we're going to be making every day from this exchange. Okay, 20% of the profits, and let's give that back to the Ken's Coin Wheels holders every single day. And like clockwork. So if you're getting these tokens every single day, you're not going to want to get rid of them. So that was kind of the whole premise that we started this on, was let's take 20% of the profits and let's share that and give those back to everybody. And one of the things that has also kind of evolved over time is when we first started talking about this, it was, you guys are going to get 2% of 2% of the profits that we made, 2% of the net profits that we made from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace. And we've decided now to change that to gross. So it's 2% of our gross fee, okay, not net. So nobody can go play numbers with these things, guys. We're totally about being transparent here. And I think that's something that really important for everybody to be able to know. So let's talk about daily trading volume, since that's what everything runs on here, okay? I've showed you guys many, many examples about, Dogecoin doing $1 billion a day on average for over a year. And it's a meme coin that does nothing. It was started as a practical joke, and it's still doing, 300 million in daily trading volume, 400 million in daily trading volume. Shiba Inu is still doing about 400 million a day in daily trading volume. It's crazy the amount of trading volume that goes on with these like meme tokens and stuff. People just love to speculate and play about it and stuff like that. And the great thing is about transaction volume is it doesn't matter if the price goes up or down, because you make your money based on sheerly on the volume. Binance charges a 1% transaction fee. Coinbase charges a 1% transaction fee. We're basing everything we're talking about on doing $100 million in daily trading volume, okay, which is very, very attainable for a token. I mean, you're talking, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin have had $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion days, right? So, $100 million with something that we have that's a very sustainable, believable, great story that you're going to really be excited to see as we kind of go through here. So these are the assumptions that we are starting with here, okay? The assumptions are that the Wheels token launches in January of 2023, okay? just a couple months, and that the Wheels token is the first token that we launch, and that we do $100 million in daily trading volume. Okay. And, and we're saying that every 3 months we bring on 3 additional charities. Okay. And each charity does the same as we did, $100 million a day in daily trading volume, just to keep things simple. Okay. Now we're going to find some of the charities that we're going to get to, and I'll get into that in a bit, but we're going to find some of these charities are going to do just way, way, way more than that. And again, probably some are going to do maybe a little less than that, but time will tell. These are what our assumptions are though. So the first thing we've got is we take 20% of the gross transaction fee, and that's paid to Wheels token holders every single day, based proportionally on how many Wheels tokens that you have. Okay, so again, if you're getting tokens every day, okay, and once the tokens are gone, that means these tokens are being bought off the exchange. They're being bought off the market. It's that's a pretty cool way that machine keeps going. So everybody's going to want to have these Wheels tokens, and I think the whole underlying thing is that we want I believe that the Wheels token could be one of the most valuable tokens, in the crypto space for sure. And I think that by the time you see the end of this, you'll agree with me. So the first thing we're going to do now is we understand that the most important thing that we want to be able to do is really go out and help the charities. So how are we able to go out and just do that in such a crowded marketplace right now, where everybody out there is just saying that they should do NFTs, but nobody really knows how to do them or what to do or how it's all works with them. By being able to use this, taking 10% of our gross transaction fee. Okay. So if we give you an idea what that is, if we're doing $100 million a day in trading volume, we're making a 1%. That's $1 million a day coming in. 10% of that gross fee is $100,000 a day. Okay. That's coming in here. That's going to be used. And that's going to be used to be able to go to big charities and say, hey, look, this is the kind of system that we want to implement here for you. Upon implementation, we'll give you, we'll donate $10,000 or $10 million or $15 million or whatever, kind of to your charity. And we'll begin this implementation of this entire process with the tokenization of your community. It's going to give us the ability to, and you'll see as we go through some of these numbers here that I'm going to go through in the spreadsheet here in a bit, you'll see exactly what these numbers look like. Okay. The next thing we do is, because I think you'd agree that this is going to help us get the kind of charities that we need. If we can go in and say, hey, look, we're going to write a 7 or 8 figure check as a donation to you, but we want to show you how we can consistently do this and bring this into you over and over and over again, by building the same kind of system for you. So what we do is then after we do that, we're going to take 10% of the charity's gross transaction fee, and that's rebated directly to the charity, creating a generational revenue stream, guys. This is like a generational revenue stream for these charities. It's just going to continue to keep going over and over and over again. And if they do the things that we teach them how to do in their community, and really start to use that token for rewards programs and different kinds of cool things that it can be used for, it's just going to keep generating more and more transaction value. And the more transaction value it generates, the more money that keeps going back and forth to the charity. So we've set aside 20% of our gross fee to help us, half of it to go get the charities themselves. And then after we get them, and after we've paid to have them be our customer, now we're giving them back 10% of their fee in rebate. Okay. So we're helping them create a generational revenue stream by doing so. The next thing we've got is we've taken 2% of our gross transaction fee is shared equally by up to, by the 10,000 NFTs, the TOAX NFTs that there are. So, under that same example of $100 million, we've got $1 million that's come in. There's $20,000 a day is being paid out. 10,000 NFTs, that's $2 a day. Doesn't sound like a lot. You'll see as we go, it gets to be pretty cool. Next thing we've got 5% of our gross transaction fee is shared equally by the 1,111 bonus NFTs. Okay, and I'll show you those numbers here in the spreadsheet in a minute once we go through all the things that we're kind of giving back here. The next thing is that we're taking 20% of our gross transaction fee, and that's used for operations and liquidity. Okay, that's used for liquidity pool and for operations and just taking care of security and all the things that need to be taken care of. Okay, and again, I'm going to go through the spreadsheets here with you in detail here first. I just want to go through how we're coming to the fact that we're literally giving away 73% of our gross transaction fee to create this kind of amazing system that this amazing kind of economy that we're basically creating here. So then what we're going to have is we're going to have a new series of $100,000, a new $100,000 NFT collection. It's going to start at $100,000 approximately, based in BNB or whatever it is that we're doing with that. And there are going to be 1,000 of those NFTs. And those 1,000 NFTs are going to share in 5% of the gross transaction fees, okay, from our exchange and NFT marketplace. This is huge, guys. This is 5%. This is like bigger than a bonus NFT, because a bonus NFT is sharing 5% between 1,111 people. Okay, so this is a $100,000 starting point on these NFTs. And see, once the money starts to come in on these, the money's just going to go into these NFTs. So if people haven't bought them, it's just going to continue to drive the value of the price up, which is pretty crazy. You'll see in a minute. And then last but not least, we've got what we call the new millionaire NFT collection. Okay. And that's going to have 100 NFTs, and those are going to start at $1 million. There's going to be a lot of other really cool stuff that goes with them. And that millionaire NFT collection, they're going to share in 5% of the gross transaction fees. Okay. Between only 100 people. Okay. So that's, 10 times better than the one before that, which is between 1,000 people. Right. So I'm going to get into the spreadsheets, and you guys like that in just a second here. So basically what we've done is we've taken 73% of our gross transaction fee, okay, from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace, is paid out immediately. Now, I'm only showing potential numbers from the exchange. The NFT marketplace is just a little harder for me to quantify on what the numbers are. It's really easy to be able to just show on the transaction volume from the exchange. So that's all bonus stuff that's there that, we're just not even talking about. So let's get to the numbers. All right. Can you guys see this? Can you see this, Doug?
Yes, we can see the spreadsheet.
All right. So here's what we got, guys. Our assumptions, again, are $100 million in daily trading volume, okay, of which we make a 1% fee. Okay, so starting in January, if we launch, this is, the revenue. This is the fees that would be earned. Okay, this is the 73% that we're giving out, that we're paying out. And then in 3 months, after 3 months, starting in the 4th month, then we'd be adding on charities 1, 2, and 3 that each do $100 million. So that's these numbers here. And it just kind of spreads on out. So it's just a real simple, basic formula. I think these numbers are very, very conservative. That's just my opinion. So if we come down here, we can see that our 1% transaction fee for year one, okay, equaled $2.111 billion. Okay, the total giving for that year is $1,473,140 million, right? Whatever, right? It's big numbers. Now, if we go down here, we can see, okay, this is the 20% that was paid out to the Wheels token holders. It's 20% of this number. Okay, then we had 10% is in the charity implementation. Remember the money that comes in that we're going to use to go out and bring in charities. Well, look at this, okay? Over the course of 12 months, okay, we're going to bring in about $211 million that's going to be able to use as seed to go out and bring in, these other charities. Look at that, $3 million a month, 2.8 million, 3 million, 12 million, okay? So this is amazing to be able to fund the actual, make sure that this all works exactly the way that it's supposed to, right? I mean, how perfect is this to be able to go fund it all yourself the right way, have the money there to be able to go out and pay what it takes to educate the people and bring this in and really make this happen. Okay. And then if you go down here below and we look at, this is the 10% that's going out, that's rebated. So it's charity 1, 2, and 3, because they started at a certain time, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that's the 10% of the rebate money that goes out after the charity has been implemented and they've been put into the system. Okay. Now, once they start using and there's transaction volume happening, they get a 10% rebate. And that is the numbers that's listed down here in these 3 rows. Now we go back up here to the TOAX NFTs. Okay. They're just a regular standard NFT is going to be getting 2% of that net profit, or this $42 million. And if you divide that by 10,000, it means over the course of the next 12 months, it'd be about $4,222 per regular NFT. You see, in January, again, remember we were talking $2 a day. It's not very much. $2 a day, $2 a day, $2 a day. But you start adding more different layers in, and you can see by the time you get over here into month 10, 11, 12, you're at about $600, per month from each one of those NFTs. And this is just from this basic standard off the shelf, no bonus NFT, right? Now, if we take a look at the TOAX, the bonus NFTs, they're sharing 5%. Okay. And so their bonus is on this is 95,000. Is that right? Per NFT. Okay. Per bonus NFT per year in 1 year. Okay. And guess what? That's next year. This is going to keep cycling. These things are going to keep going up. They're going to keep going up, keep going up. Like, I mean, each one of the NFTs at the end of year 1 paying out about, $4,200 under this scenario. Okay. Then you've got the rebates of the charities that we went into. Now we've got the, this founders club, the $100,000 in NFTs. That shows that for the people that bought those NFTs, those are basically paying back for 105,000 that year for 100,000 that was put into that NFT. And the millionaire one would be you got to buy $1 million NFT, and the $1 million NFT is basically paying back about that from the first year. And that's just, again, under these very, kind of conservative numbers that we have here. So it's pretty crazy looking at some of these numbers, isn't it? Doug, and seeing, and what's great about this, guys, is look, I mean, we've taken 73%, okay, 20, 30, 32, 37, 47, is 73%, okay, of the gross dollars is being used here to generate these enormous amounts of money, okay? We're paying back $1.47 billion we're giving away here in this first 12 months. Now, and what happens is these are what these numbers are. This is what happens, and this is how these numbers are exactly right now, with just 1% with nothing else. But wait, there's more, because I want to show you what happens by this happening, okay? Remember we talked about how, let me see here. I've got to find. All right. So now this presents us also with another opportunity, because see, over on this spreadsheet here, these transactions, this is what happens under this scenario. This is exactly what happens. But now what we have is 73% of all of these things that are being paid out, okay, are being paid out daily. They're being paid out in Wheels tokens, okay? So this is a lot of transaction volume on these Wheels, okay? This is a lot of stuff happening here with the Wheels tokens. So every day, there's 73% of these bonuses basically are being paid out in Wheels tokens. So that basically creates another transaction opportunity on top of that, if you will. Okay. And I'm going to call this one here, in this example, I'm going to say that this is let's say that this is a 3% gift tax that we were charging. Okay. Now, so remember over here, when we were talking at the very beginning, is we've got the profits, the total profits that we were making. Okay. Where'd it go here? Was $2.111 billion. Okay. And it was a 1.473 is the 73% that's being paid out. Now, our business again is based on transaction volume, right? So we have 73% or $1.473 billion in transaction volume, okay, that is being paid out that we control. That's not done in an outside market. That's something that we control, that transaction. So under this scenario, I'm proposing a 3%, let's call it a gift tax for the lack of a better explanation here. So what that would mean is that this is the money that comes in, the gross number again, 1.473. So each one of these organizations would get, the wheels would get 20% of that number. Okay, that the charity implementations would get 10% of that number. And just down the road, right, we're going to give away 73% of that number again. Okay, and we're charging a 3% fee. Now, that 3% fee is basically just, it's just cost them nothing. It does not affect the NFT numbers at all. None of the returns. None of these numbers affect the returns. Okay. So if we look down here and we say, okay, based on what we're doing here, okay, that means that the 2% NFTs are sharing an additional, what's that, $883,000. Okay. So that means that the 2% NFTs are getting an additional $88, okay, if we have a 3% gift tax. And if we've got the bonus NFTs, then they're getting like an additional $1,989 that they're receiving under this 3% gift tax scenario. So it made me think, oh, heck, what if we charged a bigger gift tax? We could probably do that too, right? So let's take a look here at what happens to the numbers if we decided to go from a 3% gift tax, okay, to a, let's say 30% gift tax. Now, what that does is it means that these charities and these organizations are going to get less because there's a tax that they're paying there, but it's all just being dispersed out amongst you guys and amongst everybody here that's part of this whole community, right? So under that same scenario, you've got the same amount of money every day, the $730,000. It's all being dispersed, but it's being dispersed at 30% rates. Okay, so under the 30% taxation, each 2% NFT is getting an additional $884. And each 5% NFT is getting almost an additional $20,000. Isn't that crazy? It's like we're able to pay out more by, it's kind of like very contrarian thinking, isn't it, Doug? It's like, you always think that the less, fees, the more money you make. And in this kind of a situation, it's kind of like the more that we tax, for lack of a better word, the better things become. So these numbers here, guys, on top of this, okay, on this whole spreadsheet over here, this is all in excess of what's going to happen over here. Okay, and it happens automatically just because of what happened here, because we made this much money and we didn't get to include any of these other transactions that happen, okay, after that money, because we have to spend, we're spending pretty much 73% of that money, okay, is all being, given away over into these other systems here. So it's pretty exciting, isn't it, Doug? You like seeing these numbers?
Very exciting. And so a lot of questions that were early on here is like, hey, are we talking dollars here? Or are we talking wheels? So everything is paid in wheels, and you want everything to be paid in wheels for the exact reason that Steve just showed you. Is it's more volume, and when there's more volume, there's more fees. When there's more fees, we distribute more to all of you guys and the charities. That's the whole credit. It's a upside down thinking. That's why we came up with the tagline: the more we give, the more you receive.
Right.
Plus, Steve's not even taking into consideration everybody who receives these wheels. They're going to want to convert some of them to Ethereum or Bitcoin. There's fees for that. That's going to go into the profit bucket, and we're going to distribute that out. So the act of sharing the profit with you guys causes more volume, and the act of you guys doing something with that volume causes more volume, which causes us to
more volume causes more profit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a never ending circle. It's really amazing what's going to happen with this, is because we're able to self-fund going after amazing charities that we're going to be able to go out and really help them move into the metaverse and help to educate them properly. And I'm telling you, a very good percentage of those, entities that we bring on are going to be what we call unicorns. Okay. They'll be doing $1 billion a day regularly, over and over and over again. Okay. And that's just from one thing. And all these numbers were based on, starting at 100 million a day. Okay. So, I mean, and again, this whole model, everything that the NFT is all based on transaction volume. And that's the one thing that you have to understand, because unless you've ever been around that or even thought about it before, it's like, how do you get paid more? Okay. I mean, we're talking about bringing on a smart token that we're going to, stable token, stable coin that we're going to bring on, and all these different things. I mean, we're going to ultimately have so much volume coming into our organization. And the fact that we also, we have the exclusivity, okay, for all of these customers. Okay. They don't have to go get listed on 100 different websites. These transactions happen on their charity's website. It happens right then, just with the donate now button. We're not changing a couple of customers' buying habit, and we get to keep all of that volume. Okay. And, there's so many companies out there that have a lot of rewards, incentives, and things along those lines that they currently implement in the brick and mortar kind of world. Right. And the more they can take those types of things and take those and put those into the blockchain, the better it's going to be for everybody, and the easier it's going to be for everything to keep moving forward. And as that all happens, we're kind of behind the scenes, just getting transaction volume after transaction volume after transaction volume. It's like, I mean, how does a Dogecoin consistently be doing, today it did $350 million a day, in trading volume. They're not in the news, or nothing's happened with them. It's like, how do they consistently keep doing those kinds of volumes? And it's, I think with something that we've got here, we've got so much Ken's Coin token movement. It's going to really create a tremendous value for that Ken's Coin, that Wheels token. Okay. And it's almost, because it's every day you're making the profit and you're paying this out. You have this compounding, effect that I can't even figure out how to put into the spreadsheets. Okay. Because, every day, once you do the transaction, okay, there's more money that's there that you got to pay 78%, 73% of that's being paid out, so it's just, the future is looking bright, guys. So what we're doing is, we're getting ramped up here to sell out these NFTs. This is what we're going to have, is we got these series of NFTs that we've got, and we're going to be launching. That's what we're going to be selling in Dubai, is the series of NFTs that we have. And then we're going to be coming back and launching the Wheels token. And that's why we want to sell as many of these as we can, because there's going to be a lot of Wheels tokens that are going to be involved and we want to be able to get the Wheels token out there with a bunch of, good things happening. And as soon as that day happens, boom. Okay. That day that something happens, okay, that first couple bucks or whatever is going to end up going into your wallet, and it's going to start happening. It's going to be happening, and, you'll look at it and be like a rotating number, just keep changing and changing and changing. So, I hope that clarified a lot of things for everybody and kind of gave you guys an idea of really, the fact that we're able to do this is because we've taken greed out of the play. It's not about us making money. This is about how can we really, create something here of value. And I think that you can take a look at the numbers that I showed you, and you can see that we've really been able to kind of self-fund everything that needs to be done. Okay. By just, and taking it with gross numbers. Okay. Not playing games with anybody and going, oh no, well, somebody needed to buy a corporate jet last month, so that made your numbers different. Or, there's the, big difference in a lot of arenas between gross and net. And we always talk about, transparency and things like that. So that's what we want to just be real transparent about it. And it's because the gross percentage of our fee, 73% of our gross fee, okay, is spoken for. Okay. It's spoken for. And I think that that's going to make a lot of you probably an awful lot of money for an awful long time.
Hey, yeah. So in year one, it was how many charities was in your projections? It wasn't that much, right? It was
Well, in the chair, and there was 0 for the first 3 months, and then starting
right.
in month 4, 5, and 6, there was 3, and
Okay,
then starting 4 months after that, there was 3 more. So at the end, there was like 9, but 9 not doing hardly anything.
right. So that's nine. So you see the numbers that are potentially could happen with 9 charities. How many charities are
And,
we onboarding over the next 5 years?
and see, with the community that we're building, I think about this, guys. I mean, when this Wheels token goes off, it's going to be hot. Okay, it's going to be hot. People are going to be talking about it. I mean, we could be doing $1 billion a day right out of the gate. Okay, in
Just with the
transaction
wheels
volume,
token.
because seriously, people are going to be wanting to buy the tokens. Okay, I mean, we could end up doing $1 billion a day right out of the gate, and that's not. I mean, that's not joking. I mean, Shiba Inu did $2.8 billion just a couple of days ago, just because they did a press release. Okay, so I mean, it's not out of the question for these numbers to just really, really, really pop and really, really hit. So I really wanted to show you what these, kind of a better way of showing how much we're giving back and what that means to you, as members of our community.
Yeah,
And the ways to continue to be part of the community is basically the more, different levels of NFTs that you can get involved with is going to be, be a lot of fun, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's all I've got for today. I've been kind of just rambling on. I'm usually in a conversation and not kind of a one-way thing there. So I'm going to spin it back over to you.
yeah. You guys are gonna probably have to watch this a couple of times. Steve's been looking at this for a few weeks and refining it, and him and I've been talking. So it takes a few trips to the table to completely eat this because it's
Once you
incredible.
get it, you get. Once you get it, you get it. Though once you
Yeah,
get it, you'll get it.
it's exciting. And let me just remind everybody of one thing. Everything that Steve showed you is programmed in the smart contracts, which means Steve and I are not executing that plan. It's programmed in the smart contracts, which is public knowledge. The actual program of smart contracts will be up, in the where you look at the code in the GitLab. So you'll see that there's no tricks going on. There's no special this, special that. And it happens automatically whether Steve and I are doing it or not doing it. We could be sleeping at night, and the smart contracts is going to be doing that. We could take a week vacation, and the smart contracts still paying this out, and it's paying into the wallets, and it's going like clockwork. So that's the beauty of the blockchain. We couldn't have done a business like this without the blockchain. The blockchain actually makes this possible and
Absolutely, it's the only thing that makes this possible. Right.
before the fall, Pride comes before the fall, and it keeps that out of there too, because it just does it. There's no, it's what's called a trustless environment, which means you don't have to trust anybody. It just does it the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So, in theory, you should be able to open up your wallet, your TOAX wallet, which I saw the new TOAX wallet today, and it was absolutely amazing. It's all designed, ready to go. We just have to plop it in. So it's one of the things that happened right after we get back from Dubai. But you can look at your wallet and you'll be able to just see it almost like an odometer. Every second it goes up a little bit, goes up a little bit more, keeps going up and up and up and up and up. You can just stare at that thing all day, and that's amazing. And another reason why you want everything done in the Wheels token is that the side effect of that is it just drives up the supply and demand and the desire for Wheels tokens. And one thing that a lot of exchanges don't like are bots. We love bots. Go bot away. Go trade as million of times a second that these bots can do. Go for it, because that's generating fees, and we're sharing those fees, 73% of it, with everything that Steve just showed you. So this is a pretty sick, and when I say sick, that means cool, little slang there, business plan. And it's we've kept our focus pretty much since day one. We've been honing it, for those of you that have been around, since December. And this is pretty cool. There's nothing else like it. And then when you start seeing what we're doing with the NFTs, and we're, some of these the new NFTs that Steve talked about will change over time. The actual look of the NFTs. We're doing some pretty cool stuff. And all we're doing, we're not inventing. But in most cases, we're not inventing anything new. We're just elegantly integrating existing technology that's out there because of the history and the knowledge that we have. So pretty cool. Bookmark this this live presentation. Watch it again. And there's one more question I want to address about the charities. Yes, we have a handful of charities that we've been talking to, and been discussing with, and I know some of you have been reaching out to charities, and some we got no responses, some get responses. With that's the one reason why we have those other two tiers of those NFTs that Steve talked about, the 100K and the million, because we're going to use that. We're going to donate basically that money to the charities to get them on our platform. Who's going to turn down $1 million donation and not have to do any work for it? It doesn't cost them a thing, and all they have to do is use our platform, and then there'll be an easy button on their website. People don't even have to go to the TOAX website. It's all, like Steve said, it's all done through their website. And then once that catches on, then you won't have to worry about it. But so don't stop telling people about it as far as the charities and stuff go. Keep reaching out. Even if you get a bunch of no's, there's going to be some bunch of yeses coming after that. We only need a few yeses. It's not that difficult. So this, like I said, bookmark this presentation, watch it again, and I think we'll probably talk to you again on Friday. Right?
All right. Thanks, guys.
You're available Friday, right, Steve?
Friday. Yeah, Friday I am available. Yes, Friday.
Okay, awesome. Probably about the same time on Friday. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.